Hi, this is Carla from Cooking for Kales. Today's meal is going to be a family favorite. It's something that I've been eating since a child. It's called Haystacks. I used to eat this usually on a Saturday after church. We would go to someone's house, a family member's house, and Haystacks was always on the menu. It's like really simple ingredients, but really delicious. I'm making a vegetarian version tonight for Caleb, who is become a vegetarian after a number of pescatarian. Sorry, after a number of years, he decided he just didn't want to eat meat anymore. So this meal can actually be made with meat, but tonight I'm making a vegetarian version, which is really quite delicious. So let's go. So the ingredients for Haystacks are really simple. I'm making a vegetarian version, like I said, so I'll be using black beans, which are just one of my favorite ingredients of all time. Baked beans, good old standard baked beans, and some veggies. So some tomatoes, some lettuce, onion, some cheese, and the star ingredient, hate to say it, but it's Doritos or any sort of corn chip that you can find. I've made this with many different types of tortilla chips and corn chips, but we like Doritos. We think that it gives it a really good flavor. So I've peeled my onion and now I'm about to chop it up real quickly. Another vegetable that you could put in here is peppers, red peppers or yellow peppers. One of my aunts used to make it that way, and sometimes I do that. Actually, I have a pepper in the fridge, but since we're currently under lockdown and I am trying my best not to go out very frequently, I'm saving that pepper for another meal for another time. So onion with this will be just fine tonight. So you just chop it up roughly, no big deal. I opened up my can of beans and I also opened up my can of black beans and rinsed them off. And I grated some cheese. These little containers are fantastic. You get them from IKEA, but this is where I got this from years ago. But I have seen them in other places. But it's like one of those standard sort of items that IKEA has where you just grate your cheese and then you can keep it in the fridge. Really helpful. So now we're ready to start cooking. It's that simple. This recipe is going to be ready in like 15-20 minutes. So it's one of those very quick recipes that you can do at night. We like to eat it during the weekday, but we like to actually eat it on the weekends. It's sort of like I don't know, it feels like a weekend meal for us. It's time to start cooking. So I just put some heat on a pan. I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan and start getting these onions sweated, cooked. So in go the onions. You just want to stir the onions around slightly and cook them for a minute or two until they start to go translucent. Before you add the other ingredients. So this is the haystack mix. The beans, very simple. So I used to eat mine with meat. My husband and I would normally have it with mince, and you can do it with turkey mince or pork or even beef mince. But I have to say that I actually enjoy the vegetarian version even more so now. You want to get those sauteed. Don't want to burn them, although if you were to brown them slightly, it will be fine. It will still taste delicious. So the next ingredient is the black beans. Just gonna dump those in. Stir them around slightly. An actual tip that I saw on a cooking blog online was to use a little cumin with black beans. It just goes really perfectly together. So what I like to do is add a little bit of olive oil, make a little well in the center. So add a little olive oil in the center, and then sprinkle a little cumin right in the olive oil. And you just let it take bloom slightly right in the middle there before you stir it into the rest of the ingredients. And it really just makes it a little bit different. It's just a little tips that make something so simple taste really delicious. And I probably added about 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. Now you add the beans. Simple can of beans. So this meal is also extremely economical. And that's some of my favorite meals are the ones that just don't cost much but taste amazing. And it's amazing how just something as simple as onions, baked beans, and black beans can taste so delicious. So just let that cook for a few minutes. But there's one other ingredient that I should have told you about before. I know it seems really strange, but it's tomato ketchup. I also like to add like maybe a tablespoon splurp in there. Something about ketchup. I think it might be the vinegar that's in ketchup that just takes something so simple and just elevates it that one level. And that's what makes, you know, meals like this that seem so simple delicious. So now I'm going to add a top and just let it cook for a few minutes while we prepare the vegetables. And I'll turn the heat down to low. Okay, so the haystack mix has been simmering for a few minutes. One of the things that I forgot to put in there was salt and pepper, so I just added that to the pot. And now it's just time to assemble. So the way to do it, sprinkle some Doritos as a base. Add some of the bean mixture on top. Doritos are great because they act like little handles for the beans. So add the beans on top. Then I add a little bit of cheese next to the beans, the hot beans, and the cheese then melts. And then I've already halved up some cherry tomatoes and also put our greens on a plate. And you just take a bit of, take a bit of the greens first. Put those on top. This is a mixture of, looks like spinach and beetroot and rocket. And this is for Caleb, so I've also got a few pieces of cucumber to spread around his plate. He loves cucumber. And then put the cherry tomatoes on top. I add a little bit more cheese, a little bit of salt and pepper. And there you go. Delicious haystacks, a family favorite. So thank you for watching. I hope you like this video, and if you do like this video, please like below and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.